Okay, everyone, I wanted to give you a little web um, tutorial on how to export your files in print. But not just export the print and the different colorways, but to make sure that you have all of the palette data there. This essentially what it exports and what you would probably want to put in a digital portfolio specifically for the final project, but I think it's good to have in a portfolio in general because then people can see, wow, you not only know how to do a print, a lovely print, but you also know how to make it into a mill card and that these mill cards go out for development. It is kind of a great way to prompt those questions in an interview that you aren't just an artist and a CAD designer, but you also understand the supply chain and the product development process. Okay, so you will go into color. You will go into palette data. And in palette data, there are these different tabs that essentially create this mill card. So there's a lot of pre-selected information, and you can kind of play around with it, see what works for you. So one thing is you can add a title. So whether you want to put like your collection title, and then maybe put as a sub like your season. You can put a lot of different things. Kind of a nice thing is to remove same color. Some of you, I did notice when I was grading your print files, you had a lot of redundant colors. So one, you can either just go and correct that, or you can select this. I don't have any redundant colors, so I'm just going to leave that blank. This is where you have a lot of different options. So you can put the title, the title, the subtitle, the date, maybe what the textile name is. We're not necessarily doing a textile name, a colorway. You named your colorway, so you'd want that. Callouts, you don't really have any. Repeat ratio is kind of nice. A ruler's kind of nice. Great, graduation is fine. Repeat outline, you really don't need a textile outline. Then you have like your color chips. So, these are all like, different classifications. I think what's most important is maybe have, I do like having the frames and the everything outlined. It's nice to have the names and numbers, and whether or not you want the values or coverage, you can kind of see the difference when it's generated. And then background outline and background fill. I like those. Now the actual object is your print. So again, you can make it bottom left or you can center it. And you want to kind of probably keep to original size. The color chips, I have, I'm making them 1 inch by 1 inch. You could even, if you have not as many colors, you may even want to do, a 2 by 2. That's also kind of a common one, 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. You can always prompt your different spacing in between them, different, lengths and widths, those sort of things. You definitely like it to wrap, and then you can choose, like, do you want your color information below or to the side? Really doesn't matter. And then just the background, as far as, you can just keep it with dynamic and keep the pre-done margins. So then you can go to create and look and see what it creates. It creates essentially your mill card with, being able to see like how big the repeat is, what the colors are. Here's some of the information. Kind of, be able to see what's the dominant color, what's the not dominant color, the name of my, print, what the, it just is it's really more of a professional format, your mill card. Now, the cool thing is I've created it for the Pacific. It has now created it for all of my colorways. So now I really want to just export my mill card essentially. Oh, I'm sorry, you can always go back and modify if you want less information or more information. So that's just something to know. You just go back in here, click or unclick things, push modify, and it'll update it, and it'll update it through all the colorways. So when you want to go and export, you're going to do File. Oh, first, with the, selection key, I selected the mill card. So not, not the print, but the actual mill card I created. And I go into File, Export, and in here, I think this is pretty much already pre-selected, but some things you want to double check. So you would want to put name of print. You want to make sure that it's 300 dpi by 300 dpi, keep proportions. Go ahead and you just want the selection. So exported range, you just want the selection, meaning just the mill card. You want to make sure that you have all of your colorways, or even if you just want selected ones, you can choose, okay, I only want X amount. I had them all selected. Did I? Yes. Okay. And keep proportions, I think, because you really want this to be an RGB. And you want it to be in a TiFF file. And then you export. It does take a while, not going to lie. And it'll export then all of your colorways in the mill cards that you've done. And when you go and open it, sorry, I have two screens and I have this on my other side. So anyway, I just did name a print. When I do a TIFF, it does open up just on my computer as a Photoshop thing. So, but you can then print from here. You can then import it into, again, a digital portfolio online or print it out. And it's just a way more professional way. And it just kind of cues in people, employers, that you kind of understand the whole process. And this is what I will require in your final project. I will want to see the mill cards. So there you go. Hope this was helpful.